Welcome back, Jaguars. Today we are going to continue talking about division. As you can see, I have a long division problem here, 5 divided into 317. There are two ways I can do this problem. The first way is a standard long division problem. I can go through with my 5 into each individual digit. 5 goes into 3 0 times. So then I use 31. How many times does 5 go into 31? 5 goes into 31 6 times. 6 times 5 is 30. And then I bring my number down. The next thing I ask myself is how many times can 5 go into 17? 5 can go into 17 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. And then I have 2. 5 cannot go into 2, so I have 63, remainder 2. The next one is my personal favorite. It's called doghouse division. When you're setting up doghouse division, you're only going to deal with each individual box at a time. For example, we'll start off with the first digit. How many times does 5 go into 3? 0 times. 3 minus 0 is 3. Now I take the 3 and I move it into the next house. And I put it in front of the digit that's already there. And I ask myself the same question. How many times can 5 go into 31? 5 can go into 31 evenly 6 times. 6 times 5 is 30. 31 minus 30 is 1. I take my 1 and I move it over to the last house. Now I have 17. And let's not forget to close these houses down when we're done with them so we don't accidentally go back. How many times does 5 go into 17? 5 can evenly go into 17 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. 17 minus 15 is 2. I'm done with the last house. 5 cannot go into 2, so I have 63, remainder 2. Welcome back, Jaguars, to our final installation of division. This is one of the most difficult division problems you will face as fifth graders when you have a 4-digit dividend and a 2-digit divisor. When I see this type of long division problem, I always do doghouse. But I'm going to do an added bonus for the doghouse. I'm going to do doghouse 5, 2, 1. That means I'm going to take 18 and multiply it by 5. 5 times 8 is 40. Carry my 4. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9. Then I'll do 18 times 2. 2 times 8 is 16. Carry my 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 36. And then finally, 18 times 1, anything times 1 is itself. Now, when I'm doing my division, I am only going to use these 3 products to find my answer. And I'm going to do it in doghouse style. The change from the previous doghouse is I now use 2 boxes for each number. That way I have plenty of room to move my leftover number to the next house. So let's start. We're going to cover up all the other houses, and we're going to look at 18 and 1. How many times can 18 go into 1? The answer is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. I take my 1 and I carry it over in front of my next house. And I close down this house. Then I ask myself the same questions. How many times does 18 go into 16? The answer, of course, is 0. 16 minus 0 is 16. Now I take the 16 and I move it in front of the 1. And I close down that house. Now, how many times does 18 go into 161? I know that 18 times 5 is 90, and 90 fits inside of 161. So I'm going to write a small 5 right there. And then I'm going to subtract 90. I have to borrow from the hundreds. 1 minus 0 is 1. 16 minus 9 is 7. Now, I'm not going to transfer this number to the next house because 18 is still smaller than 71. So I ask myself again, can I use 90? No, I cannot because 90 is bigger than 71. Can I use 36? Yes, I can. So I write a little 2 on top of the 5, and I subtract 71 minus 36. I have to borrow again. 11 minus 6 is 5. 6 minus 3 is 3. Can I use 36 again? No, I cannot because it is bigger than 35. But I can use 18. So I put a 1 up here. 35 minus 18. Borrow again. 15 minus 8 is 7. 2 minus 1 is 1. Can I use 1 again? No, I cannot because 18 is bigger than 17. So I take the 17 and I put it in front of the last house. And then I cross off that house. And then I ask myself the same questions that I did in the previous house. Can 90 fit into 175? Yes, it can. So I put a little 5 on top of my house. I have to borrow again. 5 minus 0 is 5. 17 minus 9 is 8. Can I use 90 again? No, I cannot because 90 is bigger than 85. So I use 2. I borrow because I see that the 5 was smaller than the 6. 15 minus 6 is 9. 7 minus 3 is 4. I get 49. Can 36 fit in 49? Yes, it can. So I write another 2. 9 minus 6 is 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. Can 36 fit into 13? No, it cannot. 13 is too small. How about 18? No, it cannot because 18 is bigger than 13. I'm now done with that house. And I know my answer is going to have a remainder 13. Now I go back to the top to the numbers that I wrote down and I add them together. 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 1 is 8. 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 2 is 9. My answer is 89, remainder 13.